Hi, hello, welcome to the channel. Here I do energy work and tarot readings, oracle readings, messages that need to come through. All my videos are set to be timeless and meant to align with you whenever you're ready to receive what messages are for you, okay? So this video is going to be a soulmate reading. There are no piles. I'm just going to tune into the energy, channel what's coming through, and convey that to you. So let's go ahead and get going. Let's learn about your soulmate, what they want to say. All right. Just keep in mind that there are more than one soulmates. So oh, we have the devil energy. Love it. What else? Hold on. Honestly, this is coming through like you've already met this person. Okay. All right. Yeah. Keys on a ring. Okay. I feel like you've already met this person. They're coming through with devil energy. It's not bad. It just means that there's a heavy attachment to you. So this honestly feels like somebody who, I mean, you've experienced lifetimes with, or previous lifetime with. And I feel like there's unfinished business. But I feel like in this lifetime, I'm just gonna say what's coming through. It seems like they're pretending to be happy. And the reason that's coming through is we've got, these are the guys in this deck. There's the Sun card, and these same guys are on the Sun card, but on this card they're like being played as a marionette. Okay, and so I feel like your soulmate could be in a situation in this lifetime where they're kind of pretending to be happy, or they're not able to fully be happy due to the way their life has turned out during this period, really. We've got keys on a ring. I feel like this has to do with some of the decisions that they made along their journey, but it's not just about their decisions. I feel like it's like they've been dealt kind of a rough hand. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. They're overcoming a lot at this time. But with impartiality coming through, I feel like you're coming through. It's like you guys are on different wavelengths at this time. Like they're not fully evolved. One person in this dynamic is not fully evolved or evolved to be on the same level. Because we have impartiality here, where there's two buckets of paint and she's holding them. But yeah, I honestly get the feeling that it's not mutual, actually. So somebody's on a certain level. They've done their healing. They've reached a certain frequency, and I feel like the other person is maybe like they can get there sometimes, but they're not able to maintain it. So maybe like they struggle with certain habits. Keys on a ring. So it could be that they struggle with certain habits from the mundane world, or basically kind of like matrixy ideas, like societal ideas that aren't true. So like, how do I word this? Give me a second. So we kind of get this idea that like, oh, drinking is cool and you go out, party, have a good time, and but like at the end of the day, it's actually harmful for your body, right? Can you drink it? Sure, yeah, fine, but it is essentially kind of like poison, right? And I'm not trying to shame anybody or judge anybody, but I'm just making that point of like, we get conditioned that some things are cool and that we do them to loosen up, have fun, or whatever, but they're actually kind of destructive. So I feel like that person, somebody in this dynamic, is dealing with that. They're dealing with freeing themselves from certain programming. Okay, what else is going on? Let's put that away. Okay, let's tap into their soulmate, please. Okay, 3 of Wands, 6 of Wands. Okay. and the Chariot. Okay, so this person, excuse me. Let's keep going. There's plenty of wands here. All kinds of wands. So this person is really dedicated. Yeah, this person is really dedicated to freeing themselves and expanding their mindsets, expanding their, and raising their frequency. If you've met them, I feel like you've played a huge role in enlightening them, showing them more harmony or peace and wisdom, you know, just kind of more, I feel like you've brought insight with you to them. And so they're working on, look at this, they're working on taking that insight that you brought to them and then kind of cutting down old growth and regrowing new. So, and then also we have the Chariot again. So the Chariot, hold on. The Chariot is, you know, gaining control and moving forward. So I definitely feel like this person, and then we got 5 of Swords at the end of the deck. So I just feel like your soulmate is honestly on a journey of freeing their mind from certain programming, from certain habits that are keeping them from living in their most authentic and true high frequency self. Okay, and so it really takes you kind of leading the way and like being in your high frequency self, gaining wisdom, gaining knowledge, and just kind of being really patient and loving for them to understand patience, love, and kind of be more open-minded towards wisdom from different perspectives and directions. Okay, so I just feel like there's just this huge journey that this person is on that you can be supporting them with, even if you're not in contact with them, even if you haven't met them. The more that you raise your vibration, your higher self is connecting with their higher self. And I feel like, remember we had the Devil card where there were bonds. I was getting the energy of ties, of bonds. Okay, so again, whether you've met this person in this lifetime or not, you're still like bound to each other. And so I feel like whatever growth you're doing is really kind of benefiting the both of you for your overall connection. Whew. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, Knight of Wands, this person is coming towards you. We've got Wheel of Fortune. Things are turning around. So if you have met this person, and they went kind of like no contact or something, I feel like it's definitely just been because they're trying to better themselves and make sure that they are at your level to be with you, to even interact with you, to be in your presence. This person is, like I said, dismantling illusions. They're dismantling false narratives, stories that no longer serve them, that have become more harmful for their body, for their mind. Okay, and they're changing their situation. Okay, they're also learning how to love themselves. So I do feel like this person may have struggled in the past of taking care of themselves. And what I mean by that is, like, in a romantic sense, they could have such a heavy heart that they put all their focus into another person instead of themselves, and then they become depleted, and it's almost like bone dry. They're telling me bone dry. So I feel like they could let others kind of suck them dry, just kind of take their energy, soak up their energy, and then they're left kind of being confused. Their inner child is left neglected. So I just feel like this person in this lifetime, they have, in their story, in their journey, they has had it rough in terms of experiencing like real love and connection. Okay, and so I do feel like they're working on those things, or spirit, their guides, their spirit, their higher self is working on bringing those realizations to them. So eclipse energy, Libra energy, as I'm filming this reading, you know, there's energies at play that are really supporting them and kind of becoming aware of these things. And then also Magician, making changes to a Pentacles to balance it out. Okay, so again, if you feel like this person, or if you've met this person, you know this person, and they kind of stepped away from talking to you or anything like that. It's definitely just kind of because they're working on giving to themselves, filling their cup up. They're also working on changing their situation to be more compatible with you, more high level frequency, and also wanting to focus on what's going on in their life that is impacting them. So how can they, so yes, they want to grow and be more at a sustainable energy or frequency, but what are barriers in their life that need to be dismantled to where they can maintain that high frequency? Because what's the point of like having a positive attitude and learning to be happy or whatever, but if it's just kind of like illusion? Remember with the devil card I said that they're pretending to be happy, right? So it's kind of like that, where they could have glimpses of being happy, but then when they go home at the end of the day, they realize they're alone, or that, you know, they don't have what they need. So this Magician card is really coming through of like they are creating sustainable happiness. They're creating sustainable self-love habits, or, you know, things to really just to turn their situation around to where they won't have to go back. This person is looking for long-term solutions. Like they're like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to keep living like this. Okay, so that's where your soulmate is at right now. And then again, we have the Knight of Wands, where I feel like once they get that situated, they definitely have the intention of moving towards you. So that's what I've got. Let's see, anything else real quick? Final messages about soulmate. I guess this is more of like what your soulmate wants to tell you. Judgment. Yeah, they're working hard. Lovers, they're working hard. This connection is very powerful, you guys. Very powerful. So if you're sitting here wondering where they're at, what they're doing, if you got anxiety about, you know, how they feel about you, when you're going to meet them, like just all the mental gymnastics going on, we've got the Lovers and we've got Judgment. So I definitely feel like all is for the best, all is for healing, for new growth. Look at this little with the Judgment card, they're all celebrating. Oops, there we go. They're all celebrating this little skeleton coming out of the coffin and just coming out anew, rejuvenated. So yeah, it could be, like I said, this person might have went into Four of Swords, coffin mode, and really just kind of went into a rest, went into a silence. And then with this Judgment, we got the coffin back open. And also, the thing about this card too is this is like a smaller skeleton. And so I mentioned earlier their inner child feeling neglected or feeling abandoned or something like that. So I definitely feel like the inner child is becoming more acknowledged and healed. So when we heal and acknowledge the inner child, that is creating more long-term healing, right? So anyway, you've got really good cards here. You got really good messages coming through about your person. But I just want to show you again, the Lovers is a very powerful card. I feel like the two of you, your energies are just, how do you want me to word this? I'm being drawn to the key here. So I just feel like whether you end up together in the long run or not, because, you know, you're both capable of making your own decisions. It's your life journey, right? Whether you end up together long term or not, this relationship, this bond is very powerful. And there's a lot of keys, nuggets, information, healing, growth, power. There's such a strong bond here. And so that in itself is confirmation that we're dealing with a soulmate connection, okay? And I just want to say to you that soulmates, just in case you don't know, soulmates can come in the form of romantic, or they can just come in the form of like a very significant friend or somebody that's just really, really important to you. Okay, so with the Lovers card, that's indicating that it's somebody who's definitely aligned on your journey. It's destined for you to meet. It's destined for you to support each other and kind of get whatever information you need to get for the betterment of each other and the connection, okay? And that looks different for everybody based on needs. But ultimately, this person is really focused on taking care of themselves, to not do a disservice to themselves and the relationship, okay? So I hope there were messages that you received that resonated, felt comforting in some way, or just whatever you needed from this reading. I appreciate you being here. Hope to see you back. Take care.